Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Sunday. It's my Sunday rant. For the ones that don't know about this, every Sunday I do a rant which has nothing to do with allotments, which is just some things that's picked up through the week that I think irritate me a little bit. I'm not at the allotment today because I'm here. This little garden here with some nice clematis. From them, end of the roadies are finished. The Annick rose is out. I've got some other. Anyway, I'm not talking about plants. A couple of things really this week. I'm going to start off with theatres. The theatres that are struggling are the 1,000-seaters, the 2,000-seaters. And Exeter Pavilion is one of them. It's struggling. However, they've just banned Roy Chubby Brown from appearing. They've also banned Katie Hopkins from appearing. Now, this really cheeses me off because these places are desperate for money. Roy Chubby Brown isn't your cup of tea, might not be my cup of tea, might not be somebody else's cup of tea, but he fills stadium, he fills theatres. People buy tickets, they come and sit on seats, and Roy talks about a load of bums and women's parts and fat people and everything else. And people laugh, and then they go home, they've stopped, they have a beer, they create. What's the point in banning these people? If the people weren't popular, it's as simple as people wouldn't buy the tickets. Simple as that. If they didn't like Katie Hopkins, now Katie Hopkins fills 3, 5, 7,000 seaters. Doesn't do big theatres. She's been banned from a few. If you don't like her, don't buy a ticket. Just don't buy a ticket. Do you like Chubby Brown? Don't buy a ticket. But the council shouldn't be stepping into these places and making it more difficult for them to survive when they have got a person who will fill seats, fill the theatre, fill the bar, fill the local restaurants, and create money in the economy. I disagree with these people who are cancelling these people. If people don't like them, they won't buy tickets. They won't be able to sell tickets. If they don't sell tickets, they just don't come out anymore. It's not a dictatorship. It's not up to the council to decide who you can and cannot see. It's just wrong. Personally, Katie Hopkins has lots of stories to tell, and it's just fine. You take her with a pinch of salt. You take her with you listen. You don't. And Chubby Brown, well, it's a stagnate, isn't it? Out. It's a light for the lads, and it's stuff you can't say, stuff you cannot say anymore. Chubby Brown stands on stairs, says it. Everybody laughs. Everybody gets absolutely alcohol, drinks alcohol, gets pissed, have a good laugh, and it all goes home. Stop dictating to what we can and we cannot see. The theatres need the money. The other thing that popped up this week was defence spending, wasn't it? Everybody wants to leave the government because the government won't spend enough money. And somebody on Any Questions said they should take the money from the benefits. That's controversial, isn't it? Take money from the benefits. Personally, I don't think anybody on benefits should earn more than a working man. I think if the minimum wage gives you 24,500 quid, the benefits should be capped at 24,500 quid. Simple as that. It should never be more advantageous for somebody to stay at home than it is to go and get a job. That's what I think. And sometimes the benefits are too high. And unless you need them. If you're totally disabled, you can get your benefits, and then you can get your what they call AA, attendance allowance. So you need that to help you out. So that's fine. You can get that. They can do it. But the average guy in the street who's not working, on the dole, he's not working, should never earn as more than the man who goes to work, if that makes sense. And that's what I think. Now, it might be controversial. And people will say, well, they can't afford to work. Can I find a job? Yeah, you can find a job. If you want a job, you can find a job. You know, there's always work. There's always work to be found. I got made redundant at 45. My job then was to find a job, and I applied for, and it was difficult. It was difficult. I applied for over 150 jobs before I got one. But every day I would apply for 10 jobs. So I've been there when I got made redundant. Now, I was lucky because I got gardening leave. I got 3 months gardening leave. So during the gardening leave, I was getting paid, but I was also looking for a job, and I found a job before the end of the gardening leave. So it did work. So I just don't think you should get more money by not working than you do if you work. It's an insult to the workers. That's what I think. What else we've got? If I look at my little note here, we've got the by-election this week. That's going to make no difference to anybody. The guy, Andy Burnham, who's the Labour candidate, everybody's saying if he wins, he'll be Prime Minister. He was the one that's voted through. If you have, in Manchester, if you have 5 people praying in your house, 5 or 6 people praying in your house, you can claim it's a religious building. There's only one group of people do that, isn't it? 5 or 6 people praying in the same house, you can claim it's a religious building. And what's the benefit of being a religious building? No council tax. So you have all these private houses claiming they're religious buildings, not paying the council tax. Well, I disagree. I think everybody should pay the council tax. I pay the council tax. They should pay the council tax. I think that's wrong. Now, that one is very controversial, and I'm not going to go too much in depth with it, but Andy Burnham, he's no better than what we've got. He's no better than Starmer. I don't think there's a benefit there at all. I think he'll win because I think Reform and Restore will split the right vote. It's a pity Rupert Lowe and Farage don't get on. Apparently they've had a big fallout and they won't work together. But anyway, they'll split the right vote and the Labour Party will get in. So that'll be that. I say Scotland won last night by a deflected goal in the 29th minute. So good, well done Scotland for winning, but my God, it was against Haiti, man. Come on. That should have been a 6 or 7-0 win. But I'm not going on about football. And I'll finish off with a little tip, a little thing to watch. If you go to YouTube and put Tim Minchin 3-minute song in, it's an old one. It's an old one from the Royal Variety performance a few years back. Just go in and go Tim Minchin 3-minute song and listen to it. It's so clever. It's so clever, and he's absolutely brilliant. And it's good laugh. It's absolutely hilarious, and it's well worth a watch. So if you get a chance, Tim Minchin 3-minute song, and that's for the people who've continued to listen to this long. Because if I hadn't, then the others aren't here. And remember, it's Sunday Rant. If you're here now, you put a message in saying boo, and I'll say boo back. But only the people who've watched to the end will know that, won't they? So boo. Anyway, have a great day. Hey ho.